What's up, guys? It's Nick Flurry here. This week, we decided to take a look at Pokemon, the first movie. And I gotta be honest, I was really never a Pokemon fanboy, never really jumped on that bandwagon. I was a Ed Nitty kid growing up, never really got into the whole Pokemon thing. And from an unbiased opinion, I enjoyed the movie to a certain extent. Watching it, I realized that Pokemon's more universal. It's not just for the fans or for people who really love the cartoon series. It doubles. It can whether you're new to the series or maybe you've been watching it for a long time. If you sit and watch it, you will. I guess will gain the interest as the story goes along, because I believe my favorite character in the movie was Mewtwo up until the end when he's giving his speech, the whole cliche villain turns good guy towards the end type thing. But I really did enjoy the movie, and if you haven't seen it, which I'm pretty sure most of you already have, take a look at it. It's really good. It's sort of cheesy at some points, but it's also very sweet when it's cheesy. So I guess it kind of balances itself out on that in that aspect. But it's really good. So check it out. This is Nick Flurry signing off.
Hey guys, it's the Chief Ash here today on this beautiful Pokemon day to talk to you about Pokemon, the first movie. What a nostalgia trip that was. I am a man that I love the idea of morals, the thought of morals, and I hold them very dearly to me. My friends often call me a paladin. It follows me around in all my D&D campaigns and things like that. So in this movie, there's a lot of hits on, morals and things like that. And there's even like this little peek in the duality. Man, it's a kids movie, and it has all that. There's a little bit of shameless, plugging of humor from the shows and stuff like that. But it's in that it's a kids movie, and there's a lot of childish things in it. But the symbolism is crazy. If you're just to watch this just to have like a little brain trip or something like that, there's quite a bit to see. There's even though the movie is really short, really small runtime, stuff like that. It's the first Pokemon movie. There's a lot in that small amount of time. There's a lot. Symbolism is crazy, and it's like an Edgar Allan Poe poem or something like that. It's just there's so much in so little time, and it's crazy for that. And so there's that. There's a lot of action. It's rather enjoyable. The soundtrack still I liked it as a kid, and I heard it this time, and I was like, yeah, let's go. It's still kind of pumpy. It's kind of neat to listen to. Kind of cool to hear and stuff like that. So it's quite to watch. So if you haven't seen it, it's Pokemon Day. So check it out. It's definitely something worth it. It was obviously based around the concepts of the red, blue, and yellow games. It's that old, so it's really appropriate for today. And check out some of the new Pokemon games and even the new downloads on Nintendo 3DS. But anyway, movie's awesome. Everything's awesome. Movie's cool as hell. Yep, whatever. Blah 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 blah. This is the Chief Ash on Pokemon Day, and keep watching.
Hey guys, Pokemon turns 20 today, and we're going to talk about it. Subparlobster here to talk about Pokemon the first movie, and really just the franchise as a whole. So Pokemon kind of came in a huge wave to just conquer the Japanese and the American market. It came out with a game, and then a show inspired from the game, and a trading card. So really, the cornerstone is the video game, which is a really awesome, really accessible JRPG. Kind of gets a lot of people into the genre, and even still fun to play today. A lot of the people who buy Pokemon are over the age of 20, and that really speaks to just how good of a game it really is. Now, what's really awesome about Pokemon is just as a franchise, it's been around 20 years, obviously, but it's really just become a phenomenon, more so than a lot of other shows that kind of try to do the same thing. I think the Pokemon the first movie is really kind of that final nail in the coffin that was this is more than just a passing fad. This is a big deal, and this is, an actual phenomenon. The reason we can have it in South Park and all the different, Pikachu things and stores and whatnot is really because of just how popular and how well created and managed this whole thing was. Pokemon the first movie, there's just something interesting about it. The show itself feels like kind of a cartoon. It has the kind of music in the background that's cheery, and even though it goes some really dark places and some really emotional places, it doesn't really have, it still feels like a fun ride, I guess you could say. The movie has a really different tone. I never really appreciated it till now, but I think it's because of honestly the music. There's it's just kind of a different score behind the Pokemon the movie, and there's a little bit more of a budget behind it, so it can really kind of go further than the cartoon really could at the time. the movie kind of revolves around Mewtwo taking all the Pokemon and trying to liberate them, take them away from their trainers, and it kind of follows the trainers as they go to this island to find Mewtwo and get their Pokemon back. Now, the thing I really actually enjoy about this movie, even today, is just like it's actually like a really good story. And I mean, it's cheesy and it's still Pokemon, and so if you're not into that kind of thing, or you didn't grow up with it and it's not really your nostalgia bone, it's probably not going to pull you in. But I think for all the people who grew up with it and haven't watched it in however many years, it's definitely worth going back for kind of the nostalgia trip alone. I mean, really, that's what this whole Pokemon Celebration is really about, is just the nostalgia of Pokemon. It's why we're getting a Pokemon Red and Blue re-release, and it's why I think people really love this franchise. I mean, this franchise is known for being very similar. All the Pokemon games have been pretty much the same. The show is pretty much the same. The cards are their own thing, but they're, all still very similar. And it's kind of what Pokemon does best. It takes something you're very familiar with and something you're very comfortable with, and it just replicates that over and over and over. There's a big thing with like how you grew up with certain things in your early childhood that kind of just are comforting to you, and as you get older, you just, even though you face a whole bunch of different kind of stuff that goes on in your life and whatnot, you just have those things that you cling on to from your childhood. And I think Pokemon has really made an industry out of being a nostalgia franchise. Not to say new people can't get into it. Actually, a lot of kids are jumping into Pokemon all the time with every new release and really getting into it and really falling in love with the series. So to find a series that can appeal as a huge nostalgia trip for so many people, and also a new entry point into a great RPG franchise and just a great kind of like legacy as a whole, that's pretty awesome. Now, the first movie itself, it definitely feels dated compared to some of the other Pokemon stuff. You're not going to get 700 different Pokemon or whatnot, but it captures something, and I don't know, just warm in my heart. I can't really do like a great review of it because the movie is mostly nostalgia for me. Even watching it now, it's like, oh, this is awesome, but I don't know if this is awesome because it's actually really good or because I just have such affinity for this franchise. Now, what I will have to say is there's that end moment climax where Ash is basically, everyone thinks he could be dying, and I think that scene alone is really powerful and shows that like this movie was trying to be more than just an appeal to the fans. Like, it really was trying to be a good movie with the Pokemon license, and I think really it did succeed. That was a really powerful emotional moment, and it hit really strong. I remember as a kid, like my own mom and lots of other adults in the theater were actually like crying because of how like effective it was when Pikachu's just trying to zap Ash and zap him awake and just get him to come back to life, basically. It's a really powerful scene. And so, yeah, the movie has problems. Yeah, it's, still, it feels kind of like a really long cartoon at times, and other times it goes to weird, kind of almost dark places. But overall, I think the movie is worth watching again. It just recently got released on Amazon with the other two, Pokemon 2000 and Pokemon 3. Besides Pokemon, the first movie, though, I think you should really also check out Pokemon 2000. Pokemon 2000 is probably the best, like, Pokemon anything that they've ever done besides maybe the games. There's just something about that story that really, like, is actually good. So, as good as fun it is to go back to Pokemon the first movie, what I think it really was and what it's important for is not only cementing Pokemon as the cultural phenomenon it is, but also kind of leading up into Pokemon 2000, which I think is legitimately a really excellent movie. So if you have a little time this weekend, why not celebrate this awesome franchise? Go back, watch Pokemon 1, watch Pokemon 2, download Red or Blue on your 3DS, and just really go back and enjoy this thing that's kind of like just been a big part of people's lives for a long time. I mean, looking at the Super Bowl, they kind of threw that ad in there that was just like about inspiring people and using Pokemon to be like, work hard and keep working at the things you love to kind of achieve so much of what you could achieve if you just stick with it. And I think the Pokemon franchise is really evocative of that. It's, work hard and be dedicated, and you'll eventually, walk out happy and successful in the end. Overall, I just think that I like the kind of messaging the thing's taking. But, looking past that, we also have a new Pokemon game coming out called Pokemon Go, Pokemon Sun and Moon coming out on the 3DS, and a whole bunch of other awesome goodness coming out this year. So, like we had kind of the year Luigi and the year Zelda a couple years ago, now we have the year Pokemon. I know a lot of people are really fucking excited about that. So anyway, Subparlobster here, guys, and I'll talk to you later.
Hey guys, Chief Ash here, telling you, if you like what you saw, let us know. Drop a comment down below. Drop a suggestion so we know what to make later. Like, subscribe, message us suggestions, or just that you appreciated what we put up, or whatever you want. We'll read it. Thank you, and keep watching.